Hello friends, you're the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Shadows of Brimstone. And basically it's looking not so bad. My heroes are all fine. The saloon girl, she took some sanity damage, but she has a lot of sanity, so I guess overall it's still okay. And the gunslinger, he is delusional, but that shouldn't be a problem right now. I think only if he takes another madness roll, then he has some problems here. Now the problem that we have now is this fight here. There are lots of spiders, two of these stranglers, and one of these night terrors. So that might be a little harder now. First, let's roll for this for the depth track. Okay, that wasn't great, so it moves back here. Then we gotta activate the spiders, and because these are void creatures, they have an additional strength of the void. All void enemies are now +1 defense. But that's not interesting right now. That's interesting if we attack them. So they got 2 combat rolls and they hit on a 4. First we got to move them. They got a movement value of 8. So the first one now will now target the hero that is furthest away from them but still within reach. So in this case, this one would actually target the gunslinger. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will be placed here behind the gunslinger. They always try to go behind the minis. So, and then well, actually they would target a random hero, I think. Just a second. So it's actually, they target a random hero and then they try to get behind them. So the first model, let's say this one, let's see which hero is the target. It's the middle one, so that's the saloon girl. So they are now moving like this. Okay, and this is now interesting because does that mean that that other spiders, they cannot move through that one. So the gunslinger can only be attacked now from the front. That's interesting. I gotta check that. That's really an interesting thing here, these movement things. Okay, so let's see. Okay. So you start with the enemy model that is closest to the heroes. The first enemy model targets a random hero that they can reach within their movement distance, printed on the enemy record sheet, and with a clear path to get there. Okay. So in this case it was the saloon girl. That enemy is said to be targeting the selected hero to attack and is moved as far as it can be to a space adjacent to that hero. This will usually have the enemy move to the far side of the hero, getting in behind them and making way for other enemies. Okay. Then a different random hero with the least number of enemies of that type targeting it and is within reach. In this way the enemies are moved to be evenly spread, targeting all of the different heroes. Blah blah blah. Any enemies that cannot reach a hero will move as far as they can toward the nearest hero. These enemies are not considered to be targeting any specific hero. Okay, so let's see now. Now the next closest enemy to a hero is this one. And we have now two heroes that are not targeted right now. So let's see which one will it be. This will be the gunslinger now. So that guy moves then 1, 2, 3 spaces. And it targets the gunslinger. And it cannot move behind the gunslinger. So it stays there. And then the last, let's see, the closest one, these three are now the closest ones. And I can choose which one if they are equal distant. So, I don't know. I mean, there is only the Bandido left now to be attacked. So I guess they will all attack the Bandido now. So the Bandido is attacked by these. Holy shit! He's actually attacked by 4 spiders, just like that. That's not good. Okay. So that's what happens. And then the spiders roll. And first they attack, well, let's say they attack the saloon girl. It's only one spider attacking the saloon girl. And that was no success at all. And then another spider attacks the gunslinger. And again, no success. And now it's the Bandido. But he can take some hits, so it's not that bad. Yeah, well, let's see what happens. First one attacks, and that would be 1 hit. But I can try to prevent that with a 4 or higher. And I made that. And then the second spider attacks. And these are 2 hits. And 1 is prevented by the Bandido, so he takes 1 wound. Third spider. Okay, 1 hit. Okay, another wound then. And then it's the 4th spider. Okay, so we were lucky here, I guess. Only 2 wounds. I guess that was really good. So that was now this initiative of 6. And let me see. We got now the gunslinger. It's now his turn. And now he uses both pistols. And well, he's simply shooting now and rolling 4 dice. And a 3 would be a hit. Oh man, that was bad. So that was only 1 hit. Really bad. And he will attack the spider that attacks him. So he rolls another die for damage here. At least he managed to kill that one. But it gives only 10 experience points. So that was a pretty bad roll overall. Actually, I should have rolled for movement. I'm gonna do that. But that's a 4, so I won't get any grit. So and then we got, let me see. The Stranglers, they are actually demons. They have an initiative of 4, but because of the demonic speed, they have now an initiative of 5. So that means they are activated second. And they cannot reach a hero. So what they're going to do is they will simply move as close as possible to the closest hero. So in this case, it's the Bandido. 1, 2, and Well, that guy will move. Well, I think he will simply move here and then stay there. Okay, so that were the stranglers, and then the saloon girl can do an attack. Okay, I guess what she will do first is she will use her hunting knife, which gives her 3 combat. Oh boy. So that is just 1 hit. And she will attach that hit to the, or assign that hit to the spider that is attacking her. But she can actually reroll here. She can reroll these 2 other dice because of her spectacles. Oops, that doesn't count, I'm afraid. It's sad because these were 2 hits. Oh, great. Okay, so in this case, only 1 hit. Let's see how much damage we did. Well, at least we managed to kill that thing. And this is now interesting because, first of all, we will gain 10 experience. And in addition, we will gain a corruption hit. So let's see. If we can do a willpower test against that corruption hit. And we did, so we don't gain that hit. But we will gain the 10 experience points. I'm not sure if I want to use my pistol. Actually, I might use my my holdout pistol. I think I will. It gives me a free attack once per fight. So let's use that thing. Well, that's a hit. Sadly not a critical hit, but it's a hit. And I wonder if I should attack a strength. No, actually I can't, because I have to attack an adjacent enemy. So I'm going to attack that spider here. Oh, great. So that's no effect because the void spiders have a defense +1. Okay, so my attacks were pretty bad until now. Just lucky that the others didn't do better. And then it's the Night Terror, and he has a initiative of 4 because of the demonic speed. So he will activate, he's got a movement of 5, and he will also move to this 1, 2, 3, so he moves also to this guy. Okay, and this is now another problem. This is a large size enemy, you can see here. And a large size enemy, in order to reach the target hero, it can actually push away smaller enemies. So let's see now, 1, 2, 3, 4. He might actually even move here. I'm not so sure if that is possible, but he could, if he wanted to. If he wanted to target the saloon girl. I think we actually have to find a random target for that guy first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because he actually could move here. So that means might be the saloon girl or the bandito, and that is the bandito. And that means now that the enemy will move 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he will push that spider out of the way, moves in here, attacks the bandito, and the spider actually will be placed where the enemy comes from. Okay, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. And now it's again this question. I'm not I think it will stay here. I'm not sure that it will move further, trying to get behind it, because then he would have moved all his 5 spaces. And we have that strange situation before. If they have to move all the spaces, it's no longer within reach. I don't know about that, actually. This is really weird. Maybe it would try to move here 5 spaces, but then it... Damn, I'm not sure if it could attack then. It is really strange. I mean, we had that discussion on the comments. It is pretty clear, on the other hand. It says here, the first enemy model targets a random hero that they can reach within their move distance, printed on the enemy record sheet. So that means, in my opinion, it has to be within a distance of 5. So if this, let's say the Bandito would be out of that distance at 6, then the enemy can walk behind, next to him, but because he would not target him, he would not attack, because it's not within reach. Any enemies that cannot reach a hero will move as far as they can toward the nearest hero. So they are not targeting that hero. These enemies are not considered to be targeting any specific hero yet. But once the hero is targeted, it says as far as it can be to a space adjacent to that hero. This is really weird. So what I think is, because I'm within the movement, which is written here, that guy can actually move to this space, push that monster aside, and still can attack, although it moved its full 5. Maybe there is, I don't know why. So I guess if the hero is too far away, it cannot target the hero. But if it is possible to target the hero, then it can move its full 5 movement points and still attack. It's kind of strange, but maybe one day we'll see a clarification about that from Flying Frog. I would love to see that. Okay, so that was now the movement of the Night Terror. And we got to know that a hero starting their activation on the same map tile automatically takes 2 horror hits. Pretty bad, especially here for the Saloon Girl. So we better kill that sucker pretty soon. But he is hard to kill. That's also true. Okay, so what happens now is that this guy with a combat value of 4 will attack the Bandito. Oh, great. Shit. Okay, these are 2 hits. It has a melee value of 5. So the Bandito better prevents these hits, because they do a damage of 4 each, which is pretty nasty. And well, okay, I mean, he prevented 1. I think that's okay for now. So he takes 4 wounds, which is painful, but he can take a lot of wounds, so that might be still okay, actually. I don't want to use my grit already. So I guess I definitely want to kill that sucker. He's very, very, very dangerous, the Night Terror. So, and then the Bandito can activate, and he's going to use its 2 pistols, trying to attack the Night Terror. Because he's adjacent to this guy, he can do critical hits. So we're going to roll 5 dice. And yeah, we might need critical hits because he has a defense of 3. So critical hit would be useful because then we could ignore defense. Well, that doesn't count, sadly. But, well, actually it's not so bad. That was even worse. Now I'm actually thinking re-rolling these 4 dice. I guess I'm gonna do that. So I'm spending 1 grit here. And I'm gonna re-roll these 4 dice. Okay, that's at least another hit. So we have now 2 hits. The first one is the standard one. Let's say that way. So let's roll. Well, that was completely useless because of the defense of 3. But the second one at least is a critical hit now. Yes, fantastic, absolutely awesome. A 6 here. So that costs him 6 life points. That is just completely amazing. And it also gives the Bandito lots of victory points because he gets the base plus 6, so experience points. So that gives him overall 10 plus 6 times 5. For each wound, 5. So that gives him 40 experience points. But the Bandito will take 2 horror hits. I forgot that when he activated. So I gotta roll this 2 here. And he managed at least to prevent one of these 2 horror hits. So that was good. Well, okay, that wasn't too bad. That was actually pretty good until now. And then we come to the next turn. And it's again first this depth track roll here. And that wasn't good enough, sadly. So this goes down even more. And we have to draw another darkness card. And that says Chill of the Grave. Once again, all undead enemies are now +1 initiative. I wonder if this is cumulative. I think it is, actually. I think it is. Can be pretty nasty, I guess. They might be from different core games. This is actually a problem because once you shuffle these all together, there is no way to hold these core games apart, I think. They all look the same. They have no marking from which game they come. So that's a little bad. But anyway. So, and so let's hope we don't meet any of these undead creatures. It's now again these spiders which activate. And well, it's the same, they all attack the Bandito. So let's see, the first one attacks and no hit here. Second one attacks, that is 1 hit, and the Bandito tries to prevent that, and he made it. Pretty awesome. And then the third one attacks, and that's also no hit. I'm really lucky here, absolutely lucky. So yeah, and then it's the gunslinger, and he's not next to this one, and he's also on a different map tile as the terror, so he doesn't take any of these sanity damages, which is good. And well, honestly, I'm not sure. I might actually use only 1 pistol because I want to do a critical hit. I think that's a... On the other hand, I could use the Deadeye shot. Deadeye shot to add +2 damage. Yeah, that makes it... because I mean, this guy has a defense of 3. So maybe in this case it's better to do a Deadeye, to use some Deadeye shots than speculating on a critical hit. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to roll 4 dice, use both pistols, and shoot. Oh gosh. Well, he is really bad. He's really doing so bad. So it's again only 1 hit. And then, oh, that's just a 2. Oh my goodness. I can only do one of these Deadeye shots per turn. Actually, I'm not even sure if I want to do that. If I do want to waste one. Gives him only 1 additional damage. I think I don't want to do that. He sucked completely again. Terrible roll. Just as he did before. So I'm pretty pissed right now. Anyway. So it's now these guys here. And they don't move. And then finally it's the saloon girl. And she will actually take 2 damage. Because she is... Well, I forgot. At the end of the hero turn, I could actually heal him because he was adjacent to the saloon girl. So I could heal, and the saloon girl would gain 5 experience points for that. But now she will take 2 sanity damage, and I'm really thinking about trying to move away from that. Yeah, she's already now at... That's pretty tough. So she's now already at 10. Okay, I guess what I'm going to do, I'm going to stay there for 1 more turn, and then I'm going to try to run away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll 3 dice, with my hunting knife, trying to attack that terror. Okay, these were at least 2 hits. So let's see. So the first one, and I could actually re-roll one of them because of the spectacles. Okay. So now I can, yeah, let's see. Fantastic. That was great. 3 more damage. That's just awesome. That's very cool. And that gives also these the saloon girl a lot of experience points. And then we can roll again for the second one. Well, okay, at least 1 damage. That wasn't so bad. That was pretty good actually. So he's down at 10 already, so he has only 2 health left. So it's not so bad actually. Sadly, it's enough to attack the bandito once more. I really wonder. Well, but he can take a lot of hits, so I think that's good. What happens now is that the saloon girl will take some experience points. 5 for healing this guy, and in addition, she did... okay, so she did 2 hits, which gives her the base value. These are 20, and then she did 4 wounds all over, which gives her 20 more. So overall, she gets 40 plus the 5 for healing him. That gives her then 45 experience points. Okay, and well, then it's again the night terror. and he will attack the Bandito. That was bad. 2 hits. So let's see if the Bandito can prevent, well, at least one of them would be good. Yes, he did. That was pretty important. But still, he takes 4 damage. So that is quite a bit. Luckily, he can take a lot of damage. So he's at 9, but he's got 16. So I guess that's okay. And and then he's going to activate, and because he's adjacent to the Night Terror, he will have to take a 2 sanity here. And now he's actually pretty, yeah, well, it's still okay. He's at 4. Okay, so well, let's attack that guy. Well, that wasn't good enough. I think I'm going to do another attack. I'm going to spend grit and try it once again. Oh, actually, I forgot to roll. Maybe I get some grit. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to spend grit here. Try to re-roll these 4. Well, that's at least 1 more hit. Okay, we got 2 hits. So let's see. We need to do 2 more wounds to kill that sucker. Let's see. First one. Well, that's a 4. Well, that's at least 1 wound. Okay, so now we need 1 more wound. Come on. Oh, not good enough here. Still alive. Okay, but I'm pretty sure that we can finish him off in the next turn before he gets to activate. So these were 15 experience points for the Bandito. And then we start the next turn, and again we roll for this track here, and that was pretty bad once again. So it goes down even further. That's not good. Time is running out, and we have another Growing Dead card, which is also bad. So this is getting really worse now. We have to find the second clue. So what happens now? It's the gunslinger again. He rolls first for movement. Okay, a 6. I guess I don't need that. And then I'm going to try to shoot this this Night Terror. Yeah, I'm going to use 4 dice again. Okay, at least this time I got some hits. 3 hits. Sadly, this is not a critical hit because of the dual wielding, but I got 3 hits. That's pretty good. So let's see the first one. Okay, that kills the Night Terror, so that's cool. And then we can attack. Well, actually, I made a mistake here. Damn. Okay, that doesn't count. Back, because first the Void Spiders activate. So forget about this gunslinger move. The Void Spiders activate. And they will attack the Bandito again. Okay, so that means the first one, nope. Well, they're really bad, actually. The second one, great, fantastic. Well, that was just awesome. Okay, and now, again, it's the gunslinger, and, well, he's going to roll for movement once again, and then he's going to do his attack. Well, that was okay. Again, 3 hits. And then we roll for damage. So the first hit, nope. Second hit, well, I wonder. Actually, I think. Do I have to assign the hit after I rolled for damage or before? Because if I would be able to assign it afterward, I could shoot at one of these spiders and do a wound. No, it seems like you have to assign the hit and then roll for damage. So the first one was a complete waste. The second one... Okay, that was... Well, I could have used my Deadeye shot, by the way. But anyway, that's now good enough. That's enough to kill him. And that gives me 15 experience points. That's 5, 10, 11, 12. Yep, so we finally killed that Night Terror. And then I got one shot left, so I can now shoot. What am I gonna shoot? I wonder if this thing is in line of sight. Not sure about it though, but I guess it is. I would say it just is in line of sight. If it would have been here, I would have said no. I could have also said, damn. Let me see. Well, this thing is definitely in line of sight. What about that one? It's going to be close, actually. So I think I'm going to attack that one then. And yeah. Do a shot here. So that means, yeah, that's the last one. And this is, well, that's pretty good. That might be enough. They have a defense of 2, but that's just fine. So I managed to kill that guy. Pretty awesome. So I gain 25 plus 15, gives him 40 experience points. Okay, and then is the Saloon Girl. And she will roll for movement first. But I guess she won't move. What she does instead is she will... Yeah, basically these guys would have been activated first, but there is no difference because he won't move. What the Saloon Girl will do now, he will throw dynamite. So that's pretty cool. And you can throw dynamite. Let me see how far you can throw it. I think it's your strength plus 3, exactly. So the dynamite has a range of your strength plus 3. So in this case it would have been 4. So she wants to throw the dynamite here on that space. So we can place it here just to remember that. And the point is now that we got to do also a 2-hit roll. And if missed, to hit roll bounces D3 times. Okay, so I guess we simply roll 1 die. And that was a hit. So that's just pretty cool. And that says now, models in the target space and adjacent take D6 wounds each, ignoring defense. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see now. Let's start with the Strangler. So we can ignore the defense. So this guy is killed. And then let's do this spider here. So these are 2 hits. So it's still alive, but it's down at 1 health. Okay. And then we'll see this spider here. Okay, that is killed. And this spider here. And that is also killed. Yeah, okay. So that was pretty cool. And that was actually very good. Extremely successful. So that will give her a lot of... or at least some points. We gained 25, so that gives her 45 experience points. Okay, and that is now actually, there is a funny thing. After I've killed that first guy, I should have rolled if I take a corruption point. So let's see, because it's any time you kill an enemy, take 1 corruption hit. So let's see if I can prevent that. Yeah, I could. Otherwise, I would have done 1 more damage, which would have killed this one. Okay, so and then we have 2 more spiders that we killed. So we got to roll 2 more dice. We got to try to prevent these 2 hits, and we managed to prevent 1, and then we will gain 1 corruption hit. Okay, and these corruption hit are these pretty cool markers. So, okay. And, well, actually, I think I forgot to heal with her a few times, but whatever, this time I won't correct that. I think I forgot at least 1 or 2 turns to heal. I'm not sure anymore. Anyway, now the Bandito activates and he can roll 5 dice and try to kill the remaining void spiders. So that was pretty good because we got 2 critical hits. That might actually do it. So the first one we assign to, well, I'm not sure. Maybe I actually assign 1 to that. Okay, so that killed the first spider. And the second one is a sure success because I definitely will do 1 damage. So they're both killed, and that gives him then 20 victory points. Okay, now the saloon girl can heal these 2, but first, because the turn is not over yet, we can catch a breath. But the gunslinger won't do that because he will be healed by the saloon girl, because that gives the saloon girl then 5 experience points. And then it's the saloon girl, and she's got a 3, so she can remove 2 sanity. And then it's the Bandito. And these are 2. Let me see. I think he's gonna... Oh, that's a tough decision. You got 4. Yeah, I think I'm actually also gonna remove 2 sanity. I still have my bandages, so I guess that's better. And then I can... Now the saloon girl... Well, still she can't. First, we're gonna take our loot. And now, because we have drawn actually 2 of these cards, we are allowed to draw 2 loot cards each. Okay, so let's see. The gunslinger starts and he finds, well, a sack of gold dust. So that's kind of cool. $100. And this should come in handy. So that is a gear, which is very good. So let's draw a gear card. And let's see, this is tonic. What is that? Gain 1 tonic token. Discard that card. I have no idea what tonic is about. Whiskey tonic. Discard to recover 1 grit. Well, okay. It's not so bad, but it's not that amazing. The good thing about it is you can have basically an additional grid token without that it adds to the maximum grid. So that's kind of cool. And then it's the saloon girl, and she finds, well, also a gear card. So let's see what that is. Whoa, that's another hunting knife. Well, that is interesting. She can actually use both of them. She's got 2 hands here. So she can, but then she can't use the orb. It's an interesting question what to do with these. Well, we can decide that well, I mean, that's definitely pretty strong, you know. We would have had a combat value of 4 and could attack with both knives. That thing doesn't need a hand, but the orb does. So I wonder if I should maybe take another corruption token. I don't know how bad they are. Well, I think for now I'm gonna simply use one knife and the orb, and I could still change that during the combat phase. So let's see. And she could become a real killing machine with these 2 hunting knives, and let's say she does a damage of +1 or +2 or +3. I mean, she already does a damage of +1. So that could become really, really strong, you know. So then she can draw another card, actually. And that is, well, some coins, 25. That's not so bad. And the Bandito, he actually needs more gold. Until now, he only has found some coins, and he has only 25 gold, which is pretty ridiculous. So he definitely wants to find something. And this is not a bad start. Gold nuggets. So let's see what he rolls here. Okay, these are at 200. That's pretty good. And then 50 more. That's okay, that's cool. So now he has also 250. That gives him some options in the city. Okay, and finally, the saloon girl. Well, it would be now... Wait a second. Yeah, now the turn is over for the players, because the Bandito was the last guy who killed these. So now finally the saloon girl can heal the gunslinger and the Bandito, and that means then that she will gain 10 more experience points. Okay, that's the turn. And then it's the gunslinger. She tries to roll here for this. And that is just enough. That was good. And we got to be careful now, because if this reaches the mine entrance, we will have lost. So we better be fast now. I mean, it's really not we really have to explore now the area here. Otherwise we're in a lot of trouble. So the gunslinger can move now. Oh, fuck. He only has a 1. That's just one step. A good point is it gives him grit. But now it would have been better to run to find another exit. On the other hand, I mean, I could spend that grit and roll again for movement. But I don't know if it's worth it. I don't think so, actually. And then it's the saloon girl. And she has a 5, which is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not quite enough to go here, but she can move here and then explore the next area. By the way, the gunslinger could scavenge, but to be honest, I think I don't want to do that. I don't want to risk to find more enemies here right now in this situation, so I guess I won't scavenge now. But I'm going to try to find this other room. Okay, so sadly that is a cross passage. The good thing is we have now 3 more options which are not far away. So if we run, we might be able to explore a few more rooms in a very short time. And well, it's then the Bandito. He's got a 3. So well, he could move here, but it's also not. It's not. I mean, he's too far away for that. So I think he's going to move also on that cross passage. Maybe we meet all here. Going to try to explore as many rooms as possible then. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he moves here. And then it's again this roll here on that table. Oh, and by the way, I blew it. So this goes down even more, and it's not looking good. It doesn't look like I can do that. But now the saloon girl, he can heal the bandito, by the way, because he is standing next to her. And that gives her 5 more experience. Okay, so and then it's the gunslinger again. And he needs a good roll now, and maybe it's time to spend grit if he rolls bad. So he wants definitely to run to this to that tile here. Okay, well that's a 4. I guess I can live with that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So he ends up here. And then it's again the saloon girl. And that is a 3, and that is just enough to explore one of these tiles. So it's 1, 2, 3. So she moves here. Well, actually, she would have had a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is not enough to cross that whole section because she's fast. But anyway, okay, so she's here now. Let's draw another tile or another map deck from the map deck. Okay, so that is the waterfall room, which seems to look pretty awesome. And well, let's see. We'll be fine there. Okay, so there is the waterfall room. Looks pretty amazing, actually. And it's now these guys, and let's see what the bandito rolls. Oh, that's a 1. Well, that gives him at least a grit. So he moves now here. And yeah, so that was again the hero's turn, and then we will see an exploration here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, well, we're lucky here. Okay, so that is pretty cool because, well, it's not that cool, but at least it is our second. Oh, by the way, we have to move on here, and we have to move on here twice. I forgot that. Okay, anyway, so this is now our second clue, which is amazing because now we have a real chance to win that scenario. So let's see what happens now. Okay, when the final clue is discovered, the heroes have found the dark stone deposit they were looking for. Ignore any attacks or encounters listed on the final exploration token. Well, that doesn't say anything about the growing dread. So I assume we have to draw a 3rd growing dread card. Also ignore any door gate icons on the token as the objective room has no exits. Okay, so we're going to place some, just that it looks a little better. We're going to place some of these here. Fine. Reveal all growing dread cards in the stack as normal, and then the heroes must face an epic threat. Once all enemies have been defeated, the heroes have successfully completed the mission. Okay. So I guess that's a very good time now to load this up. We don't exactly know what expect us, but we're going to see some pretty epic battle, I guess. And yeah, so in this waterfall room, it's a nice scenario for the final battle. And I'm afraid this lady will take some bad hits right at the beginning, which is not exactly great. But she has some bandages, so I guess maybe she can heal. Oh, we'll see about all that. So, Yeah, gonna load this up. Hope to see you in my next video. Bye.